hands-on experience or exercise. These are the instructions at a high level. We're gonna go over the Google Classroom platform and we will see more details there. But the idea here is to improve our previous Power BI report by adding the following features. New card visual, we're gonna be adding backgrounds as well, themes, page navigations, read through, tooltips, and also we're gonna be creating a responsive mobile layout. Now let's go over the Google Classroom platform. You will have access to these instructions as well. The first thing that we want to do here is to insert a new card visual. So let's open our previous Power BI report, week 2. So we need to insert our new card visual and then we're going to place it on the left side. Go over here and then let's hit the new card visual right here, card new. It's already right here. Let's place it on the left side. Let's insert here our first measure. KPI order is gonna be population first. Go over here and then let's look for population, current population. Drag and drop over there. Perfect. We can keep going if we want. So we can do here GDP next, current GDP. But here's the thing. If you can see, this is being horizontal. So we want to make these changes right here for layout. For layout, let's go over this section right here, layout. And then instead of horizontal, let's select vertical. And then for style, this should be tabular. And then we need to select here 6 for the max cards shown. And then we should be good to go. Let's keep adding here the KPIs. So let's keep going. This should be inflation next. Let's go over inflation, current inflation. And then let's keep going with life expectancy. And then we need to add also unemployment as well, current unemployment, and then electricity is next. So it's gonna be here, current electricity, boom. And we can make adjustments here if we want as well, because I believe after inflation, it should be unemployment. So we can move this up. We have here a few more directions. For border, it has to be off. If we go over layout, so let's keep going here, border off, and then grid. Line style is gonna be solid, and then 1. So let's keep making a few adjustments here. Callout value, it should be bold, Arial 20. So let's keep selecting here the card visual. Let's go over the call value, and then this should be Arial 20. Keep all metrics with just 1 decimal as well. For current electricity, this should be percentage, and this should be just 1 decimal. And then let's do the same for the other ones as well. For GDP, this is dollar symbol, it's just 1 decimal. And then let's keep going. Inflation, this is gonna be percentage, and this should be just 1 decimal. So let's keep going here. For life expectancy, should be just 1 decimal. Population, this should be also just 1 decimal. And then unemployment, we will do the same thing. Percentage, it should be just 1 decimal as well. So now let's go over the reference labels. So we need to add here the previous year indicator measures. Again, we have to ensure that each measure has only 1 decimal. Let's do this. Select here the card visual again, and then let's go over the reference labels feature. So for current population, we're going to be adding here the previous year population. Perfect. And then here we need to select the previous year population as well. For title, custom, and then right here we need to say that this is just previous year. For value, this is going to be Arial as well, 12, and then it should be bold. For decimals, 1 decimal. And let's repeat the same process for the other indicators. Add label, previous year, and then let's repeat the same process. And then for value, again, this is gonna be in bold, just 1 decimal as well. Let's repeat this for inflation as well. Add label, previous year, inflation. And then right here for label, previous year inflation, custom for title, and then this is going to be previous year as well. And then for value, this is going to be Arial again, and then bold, and then this is going to be just 1 decimal. And then we can customize this. This should be percentage, okay? If we go over here, over inflation, previous year inflation, this should be percentage. Let's do the same thing for the other indicators, okay? Unemployment, add label, previous year unemployment, it's gonna be this, and then this one right here as well, custom, previous year, and then value, this is gonna be again Arial, bold, and then again we're gonna repeat this process, just 1 decimal here. For unemployment, let's go over here, previous year unemployment, this is going to be percentage. Perfect. Let's keep doing for the other indicators as well. Life expectancy, a label, previous year life expectancy, and then right here select label as well, custom, and then this one right here is going to be like this, and then for value this is going to be bold and just 1 decimal here. And let's do the same for the other indicator, which is electricity rate. Add label here, previous year electricity rate, select value, custom. Let's do the same here for value. It's going to be Arial, and then 12, bold. And this should be just 1 decimal as well, but we need to change this to percentage. You go back over here, electricity rate, and this should be percentage. What else do we have? Divider should be off. Okay, so let's keep selecting the visual here, and let's go over here again, all, for reference labels. Remember, we're still in reference labels, and then the divider should be off. So that's better. Now let's go over detail. We need to add the year-over-year growth measure there. Let's keep selecting here the card visual, and then let's go back to reference labels, current population, value, and then detail. And here we need to add the year-over-year for population. And then for font color, we're going to be using the color measure. Check this out. Field value. Let's look for color here, color for population. Let's hit OK, and it's changing here to green. And then for the background, we're gonna do basically the same thing. Look for color for population, and then let's hit OK. And then this transparency should be 85%. Okay, so we're just following here the instructions. Okay, font color, we need to use conditional formatting, and then for the background it has to be 85% of transparency. So that's what we have right there for population. So let's repeat the same process for GDP. GDP, detail again, and then let's look here for year-over-year GDP growth. And then right here, let's repeat the same process. This should be value, color for GDP, and then for the background, let's repeat the same process. Color for GDP, hit OK, and then this should be 85%. Let's do the same for the inflation measure. Detail again, go over here, let's add here year-over-year for inflation. Perfect. And then right here we need to add also the color measure for the field value. This is gonna be like this, inflation, hit OK, and then let's do the same for background, color inflation, let's hit OK, 85%, and then let's do the same for unemployment, for detail here, and let's add here year-over-year unemployment. And then right here, let's repeat the same process. Color unemployment, let's do the same for the background. Color unemployment as well, hit OK. And then let's do this 85%. And we can even expand this to visualize this better. And then let's keep repeating this process for the other two measures. So detail over here, and then let's add here year over year for life expectancy. Color life expectancy, hit OK. And then right here for background, let's do the same. Color life expectancy. Should be fine. So let's move this and see if this is changing. So we just need to keep customizing this. So this should be 85%. So we are good. Let's keep working on the next measure, which is the current electricity rate. Let's go over here. Current electricity rate. Let's go over detail again. Let's add here the year over year for electricity rate. And let's repeat this again. Color electricity rate. And then this is gonna be color electricity rate. Perfect. Let's go back over here again. We are almost done with this card visual. So let's keep looking for the instructions here. We need to add images. We need to insert an image for each economic indicator. So this is really powerful as well. Let's do this quickly. Select the card visual again. Select this option right here, format, images. And let's select the first indicator, population. Image, let's turn this on. And let's look for the image. So the images are actually in the Google Classroom platform. If you scroll down, you will see the files here. There is a file called economic indicator icons. You just need to download it and then you will have the images there. But let's go back to the instructions here. What does it say? So let's insert for population. That's gonna be this one right here, population. Hit open and then it's gonna take you over here. What else do we have? Transparency is gonna be 50%. So let's go over here and then this is gonna be 50%. Position is gonna be left of text. Left of text. And then the vertical alignment is gonna be top. And then space between image and callout is gonna be 15 pixels. And then the size is going to be 30 pixels. So let's see what happens. That's what we have. And let's repeat the same process for the other indicators. And let's do this quickly. GDP is going to be this one. 50% transparency. Left, top. 15 pixels, and then this is going to be 30. Let's repeat this for inflation. 50% transparency, left, top, 15 pixels, space between image and callout, and then the size is going to be 30 pixels. So we're good to go. Unemployment, look for unemployment here as well, this one right here, and then this is going to be left, transparency, 50%, top, 15 pixels here, and then size is going to be 30. Looks good. Life expectancy. Life expectancy, that's gonna be this guy right here, and then left, top, 50% transparency, 15 pixels, then size is gonna be 30. So we are good. And then finally the current electricity rate. electricity rate right there, 50%, left top 15 pixels, and then 30 right here. This is looking good. So we have a couple more steps here. The card shape should be rectangle. Let's double check that. Shape is rectangle, so we are good. And then we need to rename the labels of each economic indicator. Basically remove the word current and keep it just the indicator name right there. In order to achieve that, let's expand this again. And let's select the card visual. Let's keep selecting the card visual here. Let's go over here, build. We can do it right here, double click and just remove current. Let's keep it there. And then let's do the same for the other indicators. This looks great, guys. We can customize this a little bit better later, but you see the point. So we have the card visual on the left, and then if you play with the slicer, everything is going to be changing dynamically as well. So let's tackle the next task. Let's create Power BI backgrounds, and for this particular task we're going to be use Figma. If you don't have a Figma account, just create one. You just need an email, and this is going to be free. I already created here the backgrounds. I have two backgrounds. The economic indicators background is right here, and then the other one is the drill through background. So I'm going to teach you how to do just one, and then you can replicate it on your own the next one. Let's insert here a page, and let's call this economic indicators. Like I said, I already created this one right here, and this is what I did. I basically inserted here rectangles, and then I added a couple things to enhance this background. But let's start from scratch. We have instructions here as well. These are the instructions for the economic indicators background. So let's split this in two as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the main layout. So let's insert here a rectangle. Go over here randomly, and then we can customize it. The width is going to be 1479 pixels. Go over here 1479 pixels, and then the height is going to be 1064. So 1064, and then for fill it's going to be this one right here. Control C, copy this over here, Control V. And then for the title section we can insert another rectangle here. Go over here, rectangle again, and then we can make the adjustments. The width is going to be 1455. The height is going to be 65. Perfect. And then the fill is going to be this, and this should be red. Perfect. The top left and right corner is going to be 12. So let's go over here, and then this should be 12. Perfect. Left section, let's do the same. Insert here another rectangle for the left section, and this should be for the new card visual. This is gonna be 220 for the width, and then for the height this is gonna be 903, and then for the fill this is gonna be this color right here. Control C, Control V. And then the corner radius is going to be 12. Perfect. So we have also a filter section. What do I mean by that? Let's go back to the one that I already worked on, just to have an idea about what I did here. We need to add the filter section, which is this one right here. Okay, so let's go back to the economic indicator, and then we're going to keep working on this. Okay, so let's add another rectangle here for the filter section, and this is gonna be 12 16 for the width, 1216, and then the height is going to be 66. The color is going to be this. The corner radius is going to be 0, so we don't have to make any changes there. We can even copy this, Control C, Control V, and we can use this one for the other visual, which is the population section. So what are the measurements here? The width is going to be 1216, so we're good. The height is going to be 455. And then what else do we have? The bottom indicator. So we also have this Control C, Control V, and we can customize this as well. And this is going to be 1216 again for the width, and then 350 for the height. 350. And then the color is going to be the same. The corner is going to be 12, the radius. Okay, so let's do that. 12. We also need to add the bottom source section. So let's do the same. Control C, Control V. Move this over here. And then we can customize this as well. The width is going to be 1455. 1455. And then the height is going to be 43. And this should be something like this. So we can make a few adjustments here. So this looks better now. So what else do we need to add here? There is something else that we need to add here. For this section right here, we need to add division line. So we need to insert here a line. Okay, so let's do that. Go over here, line, and then just do this. And then what else do we have here? The width is going to be 314, 314. And then this stroke is going to be this one right here. And then the weight is going to be 2. So this looks a little bit better. Control C, Control V. So we need to allocate this right here, like this. Control C, Control V. So let's maximize this for now. Control C, Control V. Let's keep organizing this a little bit better. And then there's something really cool here. Let's select these lines, shift, and then select the lines real quick. I'm going to show you here a trick. Hit this option right here and then distribute this horizontal spacing. That's what we need. And then you can delete this because we don't need that. Remember, we only needed here 4 lines, and that's what we have. Guys, that's how we use Figma to create Power BI backgrounds. This is just an idea. And again, on your own, you can create the other Power BI background. Just follow the instructions. The dimensions are right there in the Google Classroom platform. Once you are done, what you need to do is select your Power BI background, go over Export, and then select here SVG, and then hit Export your background. I already downloaded the files and you should have something similar as well. So we are good now. We are done with the Power BI backgrounds. We need to insert now the backgrounds into Power BI Desktop. So now let's go over the canvas background. Go over here and look for your file. So let's select the economic indicators background, hit open, and then right here, fit, and then transparency 0. And then you can start organizing your visuals. So let's go back to the Google Classroom platform real quick. We need to create a theme. That's the next step. Go over View, Customize Current Theme. Color 1. This is color 1. Color 2. Color 3. Color 4. Color 5. Color 6. Color 7. Color 8. Text. Font family is going to be Arial. Font size 10, so we're good. The title, Arial as well. Font size 12, so we're good. Card and KPIs, Arial here as well. And then this is going to be 20. For visuals, the background transparency is gonna be 100%. And then we should be good to go. Let's apply the changes here. This looks so much better.